Welcome back to Healthwise for Seniors, where elegance meets experience. I'm Claire, your personal image consultant, and today's topic might just shift the way you see your reflection in the mirror. Let me ask you something simple, but real. Have you ever looked at yourself, fully rested, wearing your favorite lipstick, but still thought, why do I look so drained? If that sounds familiar, you're not imagining it. Because sometimes the very thing pulling us down is sitting right on top of our heads. Yes, your hair color might be working against you. I know, it's unexpected. We've been told that coloring our hair keeps us youthful, that going brighter equals looking fresher, that rich, deep tones give us presence. But what if I told you, some of those popular shades, yes, even the ones your stylist once recommended, might be quietly aging you? Now this is where opinions start to clash. Some women say, wear whatever color you love. Others insist, go fully gray, natural is best. But after working with hundreds of women over 60, I can tell you, it's not about trends. It's not about doing what others expect. It's about finding a tone that reflects who you are now in this season of your life. And that harmony between hair, skin, and spirit, it's everything. In today's video, I'll walk you through 4 hair colors that might be making you look more tired than you feel. And even more importantly, I'll show you what to choose instead. Elegant, flattering, low-maintenance shades that bring light and softness back to your face. The kind of hair that doesn't scream for attention, but draws it in, quietly and beautifully. And before we jump in, if you find value in this space we're building, where beauty and wisdom go hand in hand, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Healthwise for Seniors. It means the world to us, and it keeps this channel growing with meaningful content just for you. Now, let's begin. Jet black hair, once a timeless symbol of strength, elegance, and sophistication, can become surprisingly unforgiving after 60. In our youth, black hair created a striking contrast against smooth, firm skin, helping our features stand out in all the right ways. But as we age, that same contrast can begin to work against us. Black absorbs light, and on a face where the skin has begun to soften and lose luminosity, that absorption can make us look tired, severe, or even stern. It deepens the shadows under our eyes, emphasizes wrinkles, and draws attention to every line we wish to soften. What was once a color of control can now feel like a mask, too rigid, too intense, too disconnected from the softness we've earned with age. I remember working with Judith, a 66-year-old retired professor from Vermont. She had worn jet black hair since her 20s. "It's my signature," she told me. But during a family photo shoot in natural daylight, her granddaughter turned and said, "Grandma, you look kind of like a superhero villain." Judith laughed at first, but when she looked at the photos, she saw what we all sometimes miss. The contrast between her deep black hair and her fair, aging skin was too sharp. It didn't reflect her warmth, her wisdom, or her generous spirit. We transitioned Judith to a soft espresso brown with subtle chestnut lowlights, and something beautiful happened. Her eyes lit up, her skin looked more even, and her face suddenly felt like it belonged in the light again. "I look like me," she said, "but gentler." That's the key. We're not trying to erase age, we're trying to let it shine. Jet black can often create too much of a barrier between who we are and how we're perceived. And while some women still rock it, with amazing makeup, strong brows, and the confidence to match, it requires intention and balance, not autopilot. If you're not ready for a dramatic color change, consider easing into it. Try a deep brown with ash or olive undertones. It's cooler and softer on mature skin. Ask your stylist about balayage or soft face-framing highlights to bring movement and light to your look. And if you still love the drama of dark hair, make sure your eyebrows, lip color, and wardrobe are working with your tone, not against it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with holding on to the parts of ourselves that made us feel powerful. But sometimes, letting go of old armor reveals a softer kind of strength. One that says, I know who I am, and I don't have to hide behind contrast to be seen. So if you've been holding on to jet black as a security blanket, ask yourself, does it still serve me, or is it just familiar? Because the truth is, you don't need intensity to be impactful. You just need the right kind of light. Platinum blonde. The phrase alone sounds luxurious, doesn't it? It calls to mind runway models, high fashion editorials, and a certain icy elegance that has captivated generations. For some women over 60, embracing silver or platinum hair feels like a bold, liberating statement. And yes, when done right, it can be absolutely stunning. But here's the truth many stylists are afraid to say. Platinum isn't for everyone, and most importantly, it's not always kind to mature skin. As we age, our skin loses pigmentation and warmth. That soft, even-toned canvas we once had becomes more delicate, slightly translucent, and prone to dullness. Pair that with a high-lift platinum shade, and the effect can be striking, but not in the way we hope. Instead of radiance, it often brings out shadows, sallowness, and even redness. It can drain the face of color, leaving a look that's more ghostly than graceful. Take Nancy, 63, a retired marketing executive from Denver. After years of touch-ups and maintenance, she decided to go full platinum to embrace the gray. But something felt off. "I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize myself," she said. "My skin looked sickly, like I hadn't slept in weeks." What went wrong? Nancy's natural undertone was warm, more peachy and golden than cool. The stark platinum created too much contrast and washed her out. We shifted her to a beige blonde blend with soft honey lowlights, and immediately her eyes brightened. "I look awake again," she laughed, "and I didn't even need concealer." The issue isn't the age, it's the undertone compatibility. Platinum works best on women with naturally cool complexions, especially those with porcelain skin and light eyes. But even then, it requires precision. Too flat and it looks brassy, too ashy and it turns gray. And on dry or thinning hair, platinum can highlight every frazzled strand and split end. The maintenance is another story. Bleaching to platinum means stripping the hair repeatedly, often resulting in dryness, brittleness, and breakage, especially on mature strands that already need TLC. You'll need purple shampoos, deep conditioners, bond repair treatments, and regular toning just to keep it looking soft, not straw-like. So, what's the alternative? Instead of going full platinum, try a soft champagne blonde. It has a hint of warmth but still feels elevated. Consider a dimensional approach. Mix in pale gold, ivory, and sandy tones that reflect light and bring depth to the hair. And if you're transitioning from dyed dark hair to a gray-based shade, work with a colorist who understands the art of gradual change, so your features stay balanced throughout the process. Let's not forget the psychological shift that often comes with such a bold change. Many women associate platinum with power and modernity, but if the color doesn't reflect your vitality, confidence, or inner glow, it can backfire. You're not meant to disappear into your hair, you're meant to shine through it. I've had clients say they felt more invisible after going platinum, not because gray isn't beautiful, but because the tone was off. When we added just a touch of rose gold warmth or golden beige softness, they immediately felt more seen, by others and by themselves. Hair is energy, and platinum can either energize you or mute you, depending on how it harmonizes with your skin, your lifestyle, and your presence. So before you commit to that icy transformation, ask yourself, is this color adding light to my face, or is it pulling me away from it? Because the most elegant look after 60 isn't the one that demands attention, it's the one that invites connection. There's something undeniably joyful about red and copper tones. They feel warm, passionate, expressive, like a flicker of firelight in your hair. But past a certain age, that warmth can start to feel more like heat, and not always in a flattering way. Many women over 60 choose reddish tones to add energy, to push back against gray or dullness. But the truth is, too much red or orange in the hair can do the exact opposite. It can overwhelm the face, accentuate skin discoloration, and bring out redness or blotchiness that we'd rather keep subtle. Instead of looking radiant, you might look flushed, ruddy, or overheated, even if you're well-rested and glowing on the inside. I once worked with Linda, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Austin, who came in with deep copper-red hair that she'd worn for years. "I just love how bold it is," she said. "It makes me feel alive." But she admitted she was tired of comments like, "Are you feeling okay today?" Or, "You look a little flushed." The bold color, especially under Texas sunlight, was drawing attention to the rosacea around her cheeks and the uneven tone along her jawline. We toned her hair down to a warm cinnamon brown with soft amber highlights, and the shift was incredible. Her skin looked calmer, her eyes brighter, and the whole effect more refined. "I didn't lose the warmth," she told me, "but now I feel like I'm glowing, not burning." That's the key. Warmth is beautiful, but it must be balanced. After 60, our skin often loses some of its natural clarity. Sun exposure over the years, hormonal changes, and decreased collagen can create hyperpigmentation, redness, or texture. When you pair that with aggressive red or orange tones in the hair, it can exaggerate everything. The face starts competing with the hair, and it shouldn't have to. Another issue, artificial reds tend to fade quickly, especially on porous, aging hair. What begins as a rich auburn can turn brassy or even orange in a matter of weeks, unless you're constantly refreshing it with toners and color-protecting products. That upkeep for many women becomes exhausting, not just financially, but emotionally. You start chasing a vibrancy that always seems one wash away. So what should you do if you love red, but don't want to be overwhelmed by it? Choose muted, sophisticated versions of warmth. Think mahogany, auburn brown, cinnamon, or chestnut with subtle copper undertones. Add dimension with soft highlights and lowlights rather than committing to a solid red shade. If your complexion has a natural pink or red undertone, avoid anything too orange. It will only amplify the redness. And most importantly, tone it down at the roots and around the face. A more neutral frame softens the overall look and gives your features room to shine. One of my clients, Rebecca, age 70 from Portland, had the most beautiful green eyes, but they were always overshadowed by her bright cherry red hair. We shifted her to a dark auburn base with caramel highlights woven in just around the temples and crown, and suddenly, her eyes were the star of the show. "People keep asking if I've had work done," she laughed. "But all I did was stop fighting for attention with my own hair." In the quest to look younger, many women over 60 are drawn to ultralight or playful hair colors. Icy blondes, lavender tones, pastel pinks, or silver blue blends that seem to scream youth, vibrance, and personality. And while there's nothing wrong with experimentation, these artificially bright shades can sometimes create a visual disconnect between your hair and your face, making you look not youthful, but out of sync. The issue isn't the boldness of the color. It's the lack of harmony with your natural skin tone, texture, and energy. These high-impact shades tend to flatten out facial features, emphasize redness, and make skin appear dull or uneven, especially in natural light. They pull focus away from your eyes, lips, and expression, and put all the attention on the hair, like it's wearing you instead of the other way around. I once worked with Elaine, 61, an art gallery owner in Los Angeles, who decided to try a soft lilac tone during the pandemic. "It felt fun and creative," she said, "and honestly, I just wanted to feel something different after months of isolation." But soon, friends and clients began asking if she was feeling okay. The color, though trendy, made her complexion look washed out and tired. "I thought I was being bold," she admitted, "but I looked more like I was trying too hard." We toned her lilac down to a mauve taupe blend with warm beige undertones, and immediately, everything softened. Her green eyes sparkled again, her skin tone evened out, and most importantly, she looked like herself, but better. Another common misstep? Going ultra-platinum or silver white, assuming it will make you look modern. But without the right undertone or facial structure, this shade can leave you looking stark and lifeless. It also draws harsh attention to thinning hair, scalp visibility, and breakage, which are common at this age. Artificial light colors can also age you in photographs. The camera picks up on cool tones and overexposed areas, making facial contours disappear. What you think looks fresh in the mirror can look flat and ghostly on screen, a concern in our zoom-heavy world. So what's the solution? Instead of committing to an all-over pastel or light synthetic shade, opt for dimension and balance. Try a champagne blonde, buttercream, or soft beige blonde, tones that reflect light without overwhelming. Consider face framing highlights to brighten your features without bleaching your entire head. Blend cool and warm tones with low light weaving, giving your hair movement and depth while keeping your skin tone in mind. And remember, youthfulness doesn't come from color, it comes from energy. The most youthful women I know in their 60s and 70s have hair that moves, glows, and whispers elegance. Their color complements their lifestyle, their wardrobe, and their smile, not a fleeting trend on Instagram. Pamela, 65 from Chicago, once told me, "I thought I needed pink hair to feel alive. But when I went back to a soft sandy blonde with golden threads..." Brown is safe. Brown is classic. Brown goes with everything, or so we've been told. For many women over 60, choosing a medium or dark brown hair color feels like the most natural and low-maintenance option. It's neither too flashy nor too dramatic. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Flat, one-dimensional brown can age you just as quickly as any harsh color, if not more. When brown lacks variation, no highlights, no soft glints of warmth, no depth, it becomes heavy. It swallows light. It drains the face rather than lifting it, making your features appear dull and your skin tone look muted or tired. Especially on mature skin, which already needs a bit of reflectiveness, a solid wall of color can create the effect of a shadow hanging over the face. I remember Susan, 69, a former attorney from New Jersey, who had been coloring her hair a deep chocolate brown for over 20 years. "I didn't want to stand out," she said. "I just wanted to look put together." But as her skin tone softened with age and her features became more delicate, the solid brown felt flat. Her eyes seemed smaller, and her cheekbones disappeared under the weight of a monochrome hairstyle. We added subtle amber and gold lowlights, just enough to catch the light around her temples and jawline. The change was subtle, but the result was striking. "People keep telling me I look happier," she said, "but nothing changed except that my hair finally looks like it belongs to my face." That's the thing. Hair color doesn't just sit on your head, it frames your entire identity. And when that frame is too heavy, too flat, or too dull, it quiets the energy that naturally wants to shine from within. One-dimensional browns also tend to make fine or thinning hair look denser, but in a blocky, unnatural way. Instead of movement, you get a helmet. And while simplicity is beautiful, flat brown is not the same as elegant brown. True elegance has layers. It plays with light. It creates nuance and softness. The solution isn't to abandon brown, it's to elevate it. Try incorporating caramel, bronze, honey, or soft copper lowlights, especially around the face and crown. Use techniques like balayage, face-framing strands, or even tone-on-tone glossing to break up the heaviness. Choose a base that matches your undertone. Cool ash brown for pink or neutral skin, warm chestnut for golden or olive skin. Even just 2 or 3 well-placed tones can take a basic brown and transform it into something alive, something reflective of your personality, your vitality, and your experience. Rita, 71 from San Diego, had always colored her hair espresso brown at home. "It was fast, cheap, and covered the grays," she said. But after a gentle transition into a mushroom brown base with golden mocha ribbons, her entire look softened. "I feel seen now," she whispered during her second salon visit. "Not just covered. That's the gift of dimension. It doesn't erase you, it enhances you. So yes, brown is safe, but you're not here to play it safe. You're here to look like you, at your most radiant, your most refined, your most real. And one shade alone can never tell the whole story of who you are." So, now that we've walked through the 4 hair colors that might be quietly draining your glow, I hope you've started to see your hair not just as a color, but as a conversation between your face, your age, and your light. Because beauty after 60 isn't about covering up who we are, it's about choosing what allows us to shine without trying so hard. Maybe you realized your jet black shade has felt too heavy lately, or that the platinum that once felt daring now looks a little too stark. Maybe those coppery reds are calling more attention than you'd like, or your safe, solid brown has slowly dulled your spark. Whatever the case may be, I want you to know, it's not about judgment. It's about evolution. Because here's what I've learned as a stylist working with women over 60 for more than 3 decades. You don't need to look younger, you just need to look more like you. The version of you that's rested, radiant, and rooted in confidence. And sometimes, all it takes is finding the color that reflects your presence, not your past. If you found even a moment of clarity or inspiration in this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Healthwise for Seniors. It's how this channel grows and how more women like you get to feel seen, heard, and beautifully supported. Let us know in the comments. Which hair color are you rethinking? Or which one has helped you feel most like yourself lately? We read every word, and we build future videos from your stories. And if you're wondering what styles, cuts, or accessories will complement your new look, don't worry, we've got you. The next videos will guide you every step of the way. Until then, take care of your light and let it shine exactly as it is.